What's going on, everybody? This is Chris Classic, dropping a car blog. Hope you guys and gals are having a wonderful day. If nobody tells you today, remember that God loves Christ, love you, and I love you as well. I'm praying that you people have a wonderful day. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, the Take It Home Podcast, where I talk about professional wrestling topics. And I put on my matches as Classic Alpha, professional wrestler of 13 years. It'll be 14 next year. I got a lot of matches from throughout the years of me as Classic Alpha. I may drop a playlist of Chris Classic. Even though I call myself Chris Classic for Taking Home Podcast, that was actually my first wrestling name. And I have a lot of matches that are under that moniker. God bless you, Raphael. I hope everything's well with you. But still, I'm thinking about that. We'll see. I got a lot of the videos from DVDs and other YouTube channels. Make sure you subscribe to C3 Ultimate Wrestling. That is me and my wife's professional wrestling company. Tickets are on sale for Big Business, February 21st, Dyer, Indiana. Harold's private venue. Tickets are on sale on Eventbrite. They're $5 off. There'll be $5 more at the door. Also on the channel, you have exclusive promos. You have matches and stuff like that. Get to know the stories, the awesome wrestlers, and the wrestling, of course. The Super Bowl was okay. I didn't watch it. I know I'm not a Super Bowl person. I'm not a football fan. So I'm not big on the Super Bowl. I mean, I don't even look at the performances sometimes. I think the last one I saw was probably Kendrick's. And that's only, I don't know, I was just interested for that one. But and then I think before that, was it Usher? I don't know. I don't remember. But I wasn't interested in stuff like that. So, I ain't interested in football, so I ain't really look at it. So the Seahawks won. Yeah, that's what I did see. Make sure you, like I said, continue to subscribe to C3 Ultimate Wrestling. Also, February 21st, so in the afternoon, when I wrestle at Big Business and take care of Big Business, follow me at Backbreaker Presents Double Down. That's in Griffith, Indiana. So make sure you see me wrestle both afternoon and evening. I wanted to talk about two things. I'll talk about the thing that came out earlier, and then I'll talk about what may be happening now. So, yeah, I saw that. That's one of them. I do think that some of these pictures are altered. I do think that one of them, they created a picture between him and Dawkins, or maybe it's a bad angle. Like, sometimes people can take a picture of somebody and it's a bad angle, because at first I was like, are they sure this is Ford? It looks like Dawkins. But there's video of him. He has a gut, and he's just bulked up a little bit. So people are oh man, he gained some weight. Now, some people are saying it's muscle. Some people are saying he's just big for just getting big. Some people are saying he looked like he gained the weight that Dawkins lost. So this is my thoughts on it. Stuff happens. It could be a multitude of things, right? Maybe he is bulking and stuff because him and his wife, they do bodybuilding competitions and stuff, and sometimes they gain weight and they try to transition it to certain parts of the body. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Supplements that you take, sometimes it can do certain things, or maybe he just hasn't been at the gym. Those kind of things happen. It could be a personal thing or it could be a professional thing. Maybe WWE told him to gain some weight. These kind of things do happen. WWE will tell somebody to gain a little weight, lose some weight, cut your hair, grow your hair, dye your hair green, dye your hair purple, be bald-headed, have a mohawk, get locks, cut the locks off, get the Killmonger style locks. WWE does these kind of things as well, to where they'll be like, okay, hey, we want to do something with you. So maybe this is a storyline. Maybe he gets depressed or something, and then he loses the weight or whatever and becomes a top star. I mean, Bobby Lashley tried to do a similar story. It was his idea. He said he wanted to gain a lot of weight, and then he wanted to lose it for the story, but WWE turned him down. Maybe they gave it to Montez. I don't know. But still, like I said, from what I know, Montez hasn't said anything about the different look. I know a lot of people have been trying to look out for Montez and be like, y'all need to push him and push his partner, Dawkins, the Street Profits and stuff like that. So this was one of the things that had everybody rambling and talking about, because, he did take his jacket off. He needed some help. That's not a good sign. Sometimes you gotta get your jacket. Somebody gotta help you take your jacket off. All jokes, but truth. But still, I mean, it could be for the look. He could be doing a James Harden thing. If y'all know that James Harden, I believe he played for the Nets. And one time this dude gained so much weight, he was just so big. He just showed no interest in working for the Nets. And they wound up trading him shortly thereafter, because of just how he just showed up. He didn't look like he took it seriously or whatever. It could be that. I don't know. Maybe Montez is trying to get out of his contract and stuff. If he does, get out of the contract, he'll definitely be booked at other places because people see the world, think the world of him. They think the world of his wife and stuff like that. You know, a lot of people, we still talk about the show he had with Bianca, Love in WWE. Only one season. WWE, what's up with that? I want to see that. I'd rather see that than Unreal. It was actually a good show. These people didn't look like they put on a front for their marriage and for their characters. That looked like how they are in real life. You get what I'm saying? So, still, I need the Street Profits to get a push. It's just like, you know, the tag division could definitely use them. I mean, I've talked about it a few months ago when the New Day came out and they had funeral stuff on talking about death to the tag division when they lost the belts. And I'm like, they couldn't be any more right. They makeshift tag teams, like none against Dragon Lee and AJ Styles, but they didn't need to have those belts. You know, look at even SmackDown, the Wyatt Six, they beat the Street Profits. Was it on Bray's birthday or something like that? Or they beat them. And then it was like, to me, they did nothing to the titles, and the titles did nothing for them. They was rarely showing up. It's 4 or 5 of them, and then they just lost them to the MFTs. And it's just like, what are we supposed to do with that? You know what I'm saying? The Usos, Jimmy, he's, you know, dealing with, you know, his family and stuff like that. They just won the belts. Jay keep coming out, and I'm talking to my homie Drew, shout out to him. He's talking about all he doing is saying, hey, we putting y'all on notice. Like, the Usos been putting people on notice and on lockdown in the Uso penitentiary for years. Like, we should at least be getting parole by now, or probation or something, because good Lord. Like, now Jay, who has a belt that's supposed to be defended with his brother, his tag partner, and he ain't doing it, but just putting everybody on notice. Because I'm just here to eat. He should really just get a shirt that say, I'm just here to eat. I need this. That's just what it is. So, it's Montez, like I said, I don't know Montez. I don't have a relationship with him. I don't know him and stuff like that. But weight gain happens. It could be happy weight. It could be sad weight. It could be bulking weight. It could be different character weight. It could be anything, you know. It'll be interesting if a character could gain a lot of weight and then eventually they lose it and then they get a push after that or something like that to motivate people. But still, I don't think of it as nothing serious. I don't think he is that big compared to what everybody is saying. Like I said, I do think some people photoshopped and AI and edited some of those pictures, because like I said, some of it could also be like the pictures can be a bad angle, but when you do last video, the man got a gut, and hey, it happens. I got one, so it's like, shoot, it happens, man. It's just, you know, this is why I store my Mountain Dew and my hot wings, you know. That kind of stuff happened. It was stupid. They let them lose because they was invested more into the Wyatt Six. When I say invested, you know, I mean invested. Outside of, obviously, people having a love and an admiration for the creativity of Bray Wyatt, they love the characters because people love the Firefly Funhouse and stuff like that. You know, when Bray was here, you know, his brother was doing the Uncle Howdy thing, and people love that for the most part and stuff. He was involved in matches and stuff like that. And then when Bray lost, and then they came back, and then the stuff was good, though. Graphics was good, like they, you know, murked people and stuff, and the bodies and all of that stuff. It was a big statement. Then you would rarely see them until somebody took a picture of them in Waffle House. Like, why would you kill the lore of these characters because they were very, very hungry and wanted breakfast late at night or early in the morning? It's beyond me. But still, I also think that love Bo. I think Bo's a great wrestler. I love him as Bo Dallas. Bo, leave! But he's not his brother. And honestly, I understand being a tribute and being employed and also, you know, trying to be a part of his brother's creativity. I love the promos where all different characters, all of them were crying and being like sincere about Bray's passing and how they was left in the dirt. But still, you know, it's to this point, low-key, Bo does look like more like his brother because of the gut, the locks, and all of this other stuff. But still, it was like, okay, y'all gave these guys the belts, and then what happened? And you'd rarely see them because hocus pocus, mumbo jumbo, supernatural stuff, y'all don't do it as much because people want to be in reality so much. And honestly, you could do a whole bunch of crazy stuff with that. They've teased stuff, but still, it is what it is. But I also wanted to speak about WWE real quick. Now, allegedly, I don't know if this is 100% true. Allegedly, WWE is trying to implement a policy for areas that are 50 miles within WrestleMania Las Vegas. This policy is to say, hey, you cannot show WrestleMania at your establishment. Now, if you're at home, you can do it. But if you're at a bar, if you're on a bar, bowling alley, movie theater, anything, drive through, if you run that and they're trying to say, even if they grant you a licensing to actually do it, you can't do it within 50 miles. Now, 50 miles to me is an hour. It could be an hour 30. It depends on traffic. It depends on how many turns you take. But that's like an implement. They're implementing that because they want to maximize on WrestleMania sales. Now, mind you, they be sold out, or they be almost sold out for the most part. But still, they're maximizing that. So think about it. So let's say you do run a bar and stuff like that, and you probably want to show WrestleMania and, make a little money. Because, some people do that. Buffalo Wild Wings do it. They used to, I don't know if they still do it. Buffalo Wild Wings has changed as far as taste. But still, they used to do it. And, hey, watch the UFC fight. Or some bars would be like, hey, you can spend a little money. All you got to do is, spend money on some food and a drink, and you can watch WrestleMania. Some of my homies, they go to the movie theater. Some movie theaters, they play it and stuff like that. Now, for us that don't live in Las Vegas, that doesn't really bother us. But obviously, if they want to do something around here, it's probably going to be something this day forward. Because some people do go to these bars and watch WrestleMania because they hope to see the wrestlers there. They hope to see people there and stuff like that. I mean, even now, like Royal Rumble, some spot in Chicago, they had like a watch party with like Rikishi and the Godfather and stuff like that. Sometimes people do this for extra money because some people not trying to spend that $30-something or whatever for WrestleMania. Some people ain't trying to spend for WrestleMania. Now, as a business sense, I definitely understand, but that definitely sucks. And obviously, people are going to slip through the cracks when it comes to those kind of things. But, this is just WWE doing WWE things, honestly. Honestly, I mean, back in the day, when WCW or WWE used to run a show, they used to tell the cities they was going in, shut down every independent show. If y'all don't, we will never come back. And they would shut down. Like, there's articles about it. There's literal articles. I believe WCW did it to WWE or independents or the other way around. Like, there's literal articles about them shutting stuff down. And it won't be long. I think they'll do that too. They'll do that too eventually if they could, because they'll be like, we're the only wrestling show that counts, which is crazy because a lot of wrestlers and shows are going to do shows Las Vegas weekend for a show that they say is boring and they don't care about. They're going to try to capitalize on what that company do. They don't want these wannabes like AEW to have WrestleMania watch party type things in the city. Yeah, I can see that. It's like they don't want people to capitalize off of it, because even AEW wrestlers and stuff, so many wrestlers that's not even wrestling for that weekend is about to show up. Like, on my Facebook timeline, there's so many wrestlers, and no shades of them, they're saying that they're going to be out there Las Vegas weekend. Some are accepting bookings, some are going to do ring crew, and some want to be seen and stuff like that. But I gotta find a way to watch. I'm gonna watch WrestleMania somehow. But still, like I said, from a business standpoint, I see why. Do I think it can be too much? Yes, it can be too much, because you can mess up a company's business, especially if they were already promoting that they were going to have a WrestleMania watch party. Now to probably tell people that they can't watch it. Like, I do think that some people are going to slip through the cracks, obviously. WWE is not going to chase everybody's feed and addresses and stuff like that unless they have people within that 50-mile radius out there looking at bars and stuff like that. Like, good Lord, that's definitely a big thing. That is kind of crazy, because like I said, it has been a flourishing wave of an increase of people who have bars, movie theaters, bowling alleys, watch parties and stuff like that. They charge, or they say, hey, it's a watch party. I used to have WrestleMania parties at my house. We used to get food. We used to watch WrestleMania. That's when WrestleMania was one night. I love people, man, but I ain't invite people twice to my house. Hey, see you tomorrow. It's WrestleMania night too. I'm not about to do all that. I ain't doing that. And I used to invite my friends over, and there's nothing against them, but dang, 2 nights? Like, 2 nights? And that's the thing, is you're going to get double profit just like WrestleMania and WWE is, because it is 2 nights. So they definitely trying to cut the money and stuff. And the fact that they said, oh, well, no licensing, even if you get a license, that sucks, because most people got the licensing thing so they can show it at WrestleMania, so they can show WrestleMania at their establishment. Now to turn around and renege and say, nah, I'm good. Now you can mess up and they can suspend your thing. They can try to say it's illegal. I don't know. It's crazy. What you guys think? Let me know. You guys think about Montez's new look? What do you guys think of WrestleMania, WWE's new policy? Let me know. Hope you guys and gals have a great day. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.